Hey everybody, and welcome back. So 2019 has been an amazing year for next-gen VR tech. So now we're just ready for some new games. Here is a list of the 5 most anticipated games coming soon, and I'm also going to include some other games that show great promise that you might not have heard of. Here we go. So the following titles have been announced for quite some time and hype has been steadily growing. And first on the list is Stormland. This Oculus exclusive appears to bring the right combination of storyline and action. Graphically and mechanically, the game looks great, and it's brought to us by Insomniac Games, the studio that brought us the amazing Spider-Man from last year. Anticipation is rightfully high for this title. Next up on the list is Nostos. Nostos is an open world RPG available on all VR platforms and traditional flat screen gameplay with crossplay supported on all platforms. This game almost appears too good to be true, with amazing Zelda-esque graphics and promises of gameplay mechanics that we are yet to experience in a VR world. Let's hope this title lives up to expectations. Number 3 on the list is Boneworks. This Half-Life inspired, physics-heavy shooter has continually gained more and more hype, especially from gameplay footage released by Node. With a huge array of weapons and a physics system that looks to push VR to the next level, Boneworks has the potential to be the most immersive VR title yet. Number 4 on our list is Wolfenstein Cyberpilot. The Wolfenstein series reboot has been nothing but remarkable, and let's hope Cyberpilot continues that trend. In the Nazi-run alternate history that is Wolfenstein, take on the role of a hacker and use advanced Nazi machinery against your enemies. And while this game might not elevate VR to the next level, it's sure to be a fun time.
We will rekindle the flames of freedom. We will fight fire with fire and use their machines against them. Saddle up, Cyberpilot. You're one of us now.
And number 5 on our list is Asgard's Wrath. In a game that appears to be a combination of God of War and Journey of the Gods, take on the role of a demigod in this cinematic and action-heavy title. Combat appears to be fun and fast-paced, and graphically this game looks amazing.
Powers. A rogue, fearless in the face of danger. A warrior.
Okay guys, those were the top 5 most anticipated VR titles coming in the near future, but I have an additional 5 titles that were either just recently announced or are much lesser known. First up is Vertigo 2, the sequel to Vertigo, a game I didn't even know existed until I looked it up and saw that it has great reviews. The demo was just recently released and I recommend everyone check it out. It's a Half-Life and Portal inspired shooter with a little Rick and Morty twist put in there. Graphics and attention to detail are top notch. This was also one of the few VR titles that I launched, and it actually feels like a full-fledged game, rather than your other content-shallow VR titles. Next on the list is Mercenary 2 Silicon Rising. I've spoken about this game a couple times before. It is currently available in early access but with only the first 2 levels, and it is still a work in progress. I consider this title a guilty pleasure because mechanically and for the genre itself it's really not elevating anything. It is an arcade shooter, but it's an extremely intense and beautiful one. There is almost no hype or following around this game, and it is a shame because I feel like it really deserves more attention. Next on the list is Aerobots. This is a fast-paced, high-flying PvP shooter, and while it's hard for VR PvP games to gain traction, I believe this game has the right combination to potentially do it. With combat similar to Space Junkies, but appearing faster paced and more intense, and with a list price of $14.99 rather than $40, it's possible that everyone who passed on Space Junkies might consider picking this game up. The development team is also really receptive to feedback, and let's hope that translates into a great game.
Yum, 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 let me get some. That's it? They aren't so tough.
We need your part of the scrap.
Terrorized, brutalized, colonized by you. You might want to grab a drink and a snack.
Next on the list is After the Fall. Now, only recently announced back at E3, there's not a lot about this title out yet. However, this is from Vertigo Games, the studio that brought you Arizona Sunshine amongst other titles, and they're promising an intense 4-person co-op shooter set in a dark and gritty world. Co-op is something I believe VR needs a lot more of, so I have extremely high hopes for this game. And last on the list is Zenith VR. While there's not a ton of information available on this game, there was recently a developer live stream that I will link below if you guys want to check it out. And this is an open world MMO with combat inspired by rhythm games like Beat Saber. Now I find that part particularly intriguing because combat in MMOs generally stinks. A lot of people are looking for a VR title that they can sink a lot of hours into, but no one wants to spend those hours in tedious, mundane combat. The developers also have huge dreams of creating just the next VR world, one where people almost want to live in it, and of course they want to release on as many platforms as possible with as many features as possible. Will they live up to their hopes and dreams? I really hope so, but they've set the bar extremely high. Regardless, I say keep an eye out, see how this game progresses, and hopefully they reach that goal. Okay guys, as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. Comment below, let me know what games I missed. I'm sure there's plenty out there that you guys want to see that I didn't include on this list. This was a combination of the current hype level and games that I think will do really well. So again, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead, click subscribe, ding that bell, and I will see you guys on next time.